was your Wonderland. Now that you're back on Earth, how does it look now you've left it behind? Across the stepping stones. Hey Alice, is it greener here, or does it seem like dirt? Does it feel the same? Can you say that you are happy to be home? The rabbit seems to call your name. You're late, so it's time to move. Oh Alice, you know it's your fate. Tick-tock, no time to lose. Did the mushrooms make you grow? Did the flowers say hello? Tweedledum and Tweedledee, care to sing a song for me? Did you like your own birthday? Did the Cheshire Cat smile your way? Can you tell the raven from a riding desk? Was the Hatter's tea the best? Did you do as the Queen asked? Did you see through the looking glass?
Welcome to the Mad Tea Party. We're here today to celebrate 150 years of Alice's adventures in Wonderland. The book that has captured the imagination of children and adults alike for a century and a half needs no introduction. We are all familiar with the Red Queen, the evil one, the philosophical caterpillar, the Mad Hatter, and March Hare, who stuff a tiny dormouse into a teapot, and the little girl who jumps down the rabbit hole. But how many of us are aware of the fact that Lewis Carroll was actually name was Charles Ludwig Dodgson, based the character of Alice on a girl he knew. So ladies and gentlemen, and little ladies and little gentlemen, Alice was for real, just like all of us are for real, and the mad, crazy world and exciting world we live in, and is also real.
So in a very Gyaan way, we would love to present literature in a fun-filled way through a dramatic reading. We will have certain scenes from Alice in Wonderland, and we start off with the caterpillar scene. The caterpillar and Alice looked at each other for some time in silence. At last, the caterpillar, "Who are you?"
I hardly know, sir. Just at present. At least I know who I was when I got up this morning. But I think I must have changed several times since then.
What do you mean by that? Explain yourself.
I can't explain myself. I'm afraid, sir, because I'm not myself, you see.
I don't see.
I'm afraid I can't put it more clearly. For I can't understand it myself to begin with. And being so many different sizes in a day is very confusing.
It isn't.
Well, perhaps you haven't found it so. But when you have to turn into a chrysalis, you will someday, you know, and then into a butterfly, I should think you'll feel very queer, won't you?
Not a bit.
Well, perhaps your feelings may be different. All I know is it would feel very queer to me.
You? Who are you?
Which brought them back again to the beginning of the conversation. We now have Kia reading Alice, Mr. Khare reading Mad Hatter, and Purvi reading The Dormouse. There was a table set and under a tree in front of the house, and the March Hare and the Hatter were having tea at it. A dormouse was sitting between them, fast asleep, and the other two were using it as a cushion, resting their elbows on it and talking over his head. The table was a large one, but the three were all crowded together at the corner of it. And as they see Alice arriving, they cry out,
Then you should say what you mean.
I do. At least I mean what I say. It's the same thing, you know.
No, not the same thing a bit. You might just as well say that I see what I eat is the same thing as I eat what I see. You may just as well say, I like what I get is the same thing as I get what I like.
You might just as well say that I breathe when I sleep is the same thing as I sleep when I breathe.
That is the same thing with you.
And he got up very sulkily and crossed over to the other side of the court. At this time, the queen had never left off staring at the hatter, and just as the dormouse crossed the court, she said to one of the officers of the court, "Bring me the list of the singers in the last concert," on which the wretched hatter trembled so that he shook both his shoes off.
Give your evidence, or I'll have you executed, whether you're nervous or not.
I'm a poor man, Your Majesty. I hadn't begun my tea. Not above a week or so, and what with the bread and butter getting so thin and the twinkling of the tea.
The twinkling of the what?
It began with the tea, Your Highness.
Of course, twinkling begins with a T. Do you take me for a dunce? Go on.
I'm a poor man. And most things twinkled after that. After that, I cut some more bread and butter.
But what did the dormouse say? One of the jury asked.
That I can't remember.
You must remember, or I'll have you executed.
I'm a poor man, Your Majesty.
You're a poor speaker.
We have Leena Chandorkar. Please welcome her. She'll make a presentation on the mock turtle sequence.
So they went up to the mock turtle, who looked at them with large eyes full of tears, but said nothing. "This here young lady," said the Gryphon, "she wants for to know your history. She do." "I'll tell it her," said the mock turtle in a deep, hollow tone. "Sit down, both of you, and don't speak a word till I've finished." The mock turtle went on. "We have the best of education. In fact, we went to school every day." "I've been to school every day," said Alice. "You needn't be so proud about it." "With extras?" asked the mock turtle a little anxiously. "Yes," said Alice. "We learned French and music." "And washing?" said the mock turtle. "Certainly not," said Alice indignantly. "Ah, then yours was not a really good school," said the mock turtle in a tone of great relief, and both creatures hid their faces in their paws. "And how many hours a day did you do lessons?" asked Alice in a hurry to change the subject. 10 hours the first day," said the mock turtle, 9 the next, and so on. "What a curious plan!" exclaimed Alice. "That's the reason they are called lessons," the Gryphon remarked, "because they lesson from day to day."
Some interpret the walrus to be a caricature of the Buddha and the carpenter to be a caricature of Jesus Christ. We now have Lavanya with the poem Walrus and the Carpenter. Give this little Lavanya a big hand, ladies and gentlemen.
The sun was shining on the sea, shining with all his might. He did his very best to make the billows smooth and bright. And this was odd because it was the middle of the night. The moon was shining sulkily because she thought the sun had got no business to be there after the day was done. "It's very rude of him," she said, "to come and spoil the fun." The sea was wet as wet could be. The sands were dry as dry. You could not see a cloud because no cloud was in the sky. No birds were flying overhead. There were no birds to fly. The walrus and the carpenter were walking close at hand. They wept like anything to see such quantities of sand.
There have been numerous adaptations of Alice's adventures in Wonderland, from songs to plays to musicals and films. One such adaptation that transported people into the magical realm of Wonderland is Tim Burton's film Alice in Wonderland, which released in 2010. Burton claims that he has attempted to create a framework, an emotional grounding, which he felt he never really had seen in any other film based on Alice in Wonderland before. Burton said that was the challenge for him, to make Alice feel like a story as opposed to a series of events.
But what we really need to do is move our chairs back a little bit, because we're all going to get up and sing and dance. I don't know how to dance and I don't know how to sing, so that's the fun of it all. Yeah. So you can stand up wherever you are, even if it's at the back. You don't have to come out here. Now, writing to a snail, there's a porpoise behind you and he's spinning on my tail. See how eagerly the lobsters and the turtles all advance. They are waiting on the shingle. Will you come and join the dance? Will you, won't you, will you, won't you join the dance? Will you, won't you, won't you join the dance? Will you, won't you, will you join the dance? You can really have no notion how delightful it'll be when they take us up and throw us with the lobsters out to sea. But the snail replied, "You far, far again, a look askance," said he thanked the whiting kindly, but he would not join the dance. So would not join the dance. Would not join the dance. Okay, we end all of us together. We're a very quiet audience. We're going to do this. Will you, won't you, won't you join the dance? Will you, won't you, won't you join the dance?